Hey, we're going to quickly show you how to do the zoom in effect in Adobe Premiere Pro. If you're unfamiliar with this effect, it's a popular one used in screen sharing utility videos like the ones I do on this channel. Sometimes you'll need to quickly zoom in to enlarge an image, text, or change the focal point of a video. If so, the zoom animation works wonders and is a nice skill to have ready to go in your toolbox. I'll give you an example of it now just to show you how it looks. In this past video, I wanted to highlight how many subscribers this YouTube channel had in a short amount of time. So this is her channel page, and as you'll see, I zoom in to show you that she has 2.3 million subscribers. Now there's two ways you can do this, one with live video and the other using a frame hold segment, also known as a freeze frame. Here is a video that I'm currently working on, and I want to zoom in on a specific text as I read it out loud in the video. What I'm going to do is take the razor tool, it looks like a little rectangle, and cut at the point in the sequence that I'll want to start the zoom in effect. And then I'm going to cut again at a point near the end of the zoom. Again, I have my full video and I'm going to cut the sequence timeline to the point in which I want to zoom. So it'll create a separate video block. Now I'll click the new section that I just cut and then select Effect Controls up in this window to bring up some effect options. We're going to want to play around with the scale and position motion effects in order to get that zoom. See this little stopwatch icon? Hovering over it will show that this is to toggle the animation effects for that motion. We're going to drag the time bar in the main timeline to inside that new video block just so that we see the same time bar up here. Then we're going to drag that to the start just to make sure that the animation begins right at the beginning of the clip. Let's click both of these stopwatch icons so that they highlight and turn blue. And see these two diamonds here? This means that at this keyframe, the animation begins at that scale and position. What we want to do now is to drag the time bar to a few seconds later and then create a new animation point by moving the scale and position sliders. So at this new time point, I'm going to play around with these two settings until I have my text blown up and in the center of the page. That looks about right. And as you'll see, after changing the scale and position, it created two new animation frames or two new diamonds in the sequence timeline. We now have one at the start of this video block and another a few seconds later. What the animation will do now is move smoothly between those two keyframes to get from one position and scale to another. And we'll play it back now just to see how it looks. Yep, that looks good to me. If we don't like the speed, say it's too fast or too slow, we can move these keyframes either to the right or left to make it longer or shorter. This is how it looks shorter. See, the zoom in effect is performed much faster. Sometimes your zoom in will not work seamlessly with your clip because the video is moving. Say you have a video and want to zoom in on a specific section of the screen, but it doesn't stay still long enough for you to show it to your audience. To negate this problem, we'll use something called a frame hold segment. What this does is create a freeze frame at that specific part of the video clip. So I'm going to do the same thing as done previously. I'm going to find the spot in the video where I want to zoom in, say in this spot right here. I'm going to create a frame hold segment by right clicking and selecting insert frame hold segment. See how it makes an extra bit of video from that frame? I can now expand this part to make it longer. Clicking on this new section will bring up the effect controls window, and from there I can create the zoom in effect the same way as before. I'll drag the time slider to the start of the clip, click the position and scale motion effect animations, then drag to a few seconds later and input the finishing point of the animation. If we play it back now, we'll see the zoom in effect also works on a frame hold segment. And then once that clip is finished, it goes right back to the live video. One more thing I want to show is how to zoom back out after a zoom in effect. With the method I showed in this video, it will just snap back to the regular size clip, but if you want to make the zooming effect look a little smoother, you'll just have to add a few more animation keyframes on the clip sequence. Drag the slider forward to the desired amount of seconds for the zoom hold. Now we are going to right click the previous animation frame, select copy, and then paste into the new part of the timeline. We'll do this for both the position and scale motion effects. That creates a hold of that specific animation. We'll now move the timeline forward some more and make an animation keyframe that has the same motion effect characteristics as the original video. In this case, it's scale 100, and a position just like that. We'll now play the clip to see how it looks. See, we get the zoom in, now the hold, and then the zoom back out. To recap, in this video we showed you how to create the zoom in effect in Adobe Premiere Pro by toggling on the motion effect animations for both position and scale, and then creating animation keyframe points at specific parts in the clip's timeline sequence. Thanks for watching, and I hope this improves your video editing skills.